Hey friends, thanks for joining me today. I first want to start off by saying it is my 4-year Poshmark anniversary. I want to say thank you to Poshmark for allowing me and other people to find such a great community. If it wasn't for my start on Poshmark, I wouldn't have so many friends. I wouldn't have had so many great times, especially in 2019. Attending Posh and Sips, Posh Party Lives, and the Ultimate Posh Fest. But in addition to that, meeting so many like-minded individuals that have touched my heart in such a way. I'm so humbled by this experience. You just don't know. I just love being a part of this community, and it has extended into the Instagram community, social media as a whole, but on Instagram. And it has pushed me to make videos like this. It has allowed me to make so many friends, to be a part of a community. I don't have followers. I'm a part of a community. They're my community members. And so I want to thank you, Poshmark, not for the sharing, not for the following, but for the love, for the relationships. Thank you so much from Passion Reseller. I appreciate you so much. All of you as well, friends. Okay, so a couple days ago on my Instagram page, I asked people to send me questions that they would like me to answer today, and that's what I'm going to do. So I'll probably be looking down. I have some notes because I wrote down the questions and I wrote down the answers. I'm not going to be calling out people's names because when I went back to look for my stories, they were gone. I know I could probably pull them back again, but I just wanted to just be like generic and organic in my answers. So here we go. So the first question is, how long have I been reselling? So I have been reselling for 4 years, and actually it is my Poshmark anniversary. That was the app that I started selling on first. So April of 2016, yay. And yeah, that's how long I've been selling, is for 4 years. And then 2 years after I started selling on Poshmark, when I decided to get serious, I started selling on eBay, and then I added Depop. I sold on Vinted. I've been on Mercari, and I currently only sell on Poshmark, Etsy, and occasionally on Mercari. But I am loving this journey so far. So 2, how to source online, or where do I source online? So I don't do as much sourcing online as I used to because I'm just kind of staying focused on keeping my costs down. But the one of the places that I really like to source is Vinted. It's Vinted. I'm probably not giving anything away. It's a selling app. I want to say it's similar to Poshmark, but it doesn't have the social aspect as Poshmark. And you probably don't have that much of an ability to probably sell upscale things, but it is a great place to find things inexpensively and to also source in your own community. So when you go into Vinted, it's similar. You download the app, or you can go online. That's the cool thing. You can go online like Poshmark, or you can add the app to your device, and then you create an account. You can look for items without having an account, but having an account will be great because if you find something you like, so you can type in the search bar what you're looking for. Like if people are looking for like Lululemon, Johnny Wise, whatever you're looking for, J. Crew, even mall brands, you type in what you're interested in, and then you can expand it into specifically what you're looking for. So if you're looking for Lululemon, you can click on like tights or leggings, and then you can hit the sort button, SORT, and then it'll break it down like brand, highest to lowest price, lowest to highest price. I always hit lowest to highest price, and it'll surprise you. Some things will pop up like even as low as $1. That's because people just want to get rid of things. You have like students who are selling things like that. So I do a lot of sourcing on Vinted. Last year, I was constantly buying from the same person. She lived in Texas, and she was a college student, and she would get these great items. And I, at least like once a week, I was getting things from her. And it's similar to Poshmark again, where there is a like percentage if you buy a certain amount. And I like Vinted that if a person has a cap where you can purchase 6 items and get 20 to 30% off, it'll let you know, oh, you need to add one more item in order to qualify for the percentage off. So definitely check out Vinted. It's great for local. I've shopped local, so you can go in I don't know specifically. You would have to look at the app and you can click local shopping. So you put in your zip code and it will show you all the sellers that are selling in your area. It was another person who was selling here in my area. I would meet her at the Kmart and she was selling things like so low. It was amazing to me. And I was get her stuff and resell it like $5, $10. I would sell. I got a lot of stuff from I live right almost on top of the University of Delaware campus. So I met a lady from University of Delaware right across the street. I live across the street from the stadiums. She met me there and I got a lot of stuff from her, Abercrombie, things like that, the stuff that college students wear. So Vinted is one. And I definitely source from Poshmark. I definitely source from eBay. You can source from the same apps that you buy on. Now, this is the thing. Don't be intimidated. You are a buyer when you're purchasing. Don't worry about what the seller is going to think about if you purchase something and resell it. Once you buy it, it's yours. And that's the mentality that I have. I don't get offended by people who buy my stuff. I don't even get offended if they use my photos. If you're using stock photos, you're using someone else's photos. So think about it from that perspective. So it's okay to source where you sell. And then there are some other places. If you are looking into wholesale, you can definitely check out Indo Trading, B&G Trading. There's a site called VIA Trading, Bulks, which is BULQ. And then you can Google, if you're interested in wholesaling, to get a big package of a lot of items and sell them individually for a retail price. So do your research. If you're going to shop wholesale, you really have to look into that because you have to have like a business license or a tax ID number. I am licensed here in the state of Delaware and I do have a tax ID number, so I can sell wholesale. I'm starting to buy wholesale for my websites. I don't sell wholesale on Poshmark, and that way I can charge whatever I want and not worry about the shipping aspect of it. So really research if you're interested in sourcing online. There's so many other apps out there. I can't even tell you. I do have an ebook, the Reseller Survival Guide, a practical guide for resellers. And I have like so many apps on there and all kinds of stuff. So that's my ebook. I'll probably put it down in the comments if you're interested in purchasing it. Yeah, that's my plug. Okay, number 3, how to grow Instagram. Instagram is my favorite social media platform. And what I like about Instagram, it literally is all the platforms in one. So if you if you think about it, it is Facebook, it's Twitter, it's TikTok, it's Snapchat, and they're getting really creative so that you can stay on Instagram. Instagram is such a great place to build a community. And to get started, the first thing you need to do is to create a business account. There are so many people who say they don't want their family to be exposed to their business part. Then create a business account. If you already have an account and say, for instance, you have 1,000 followers, just turn it into a business account and start a whole nother personal account so that you don't lose your followers. Because you have to think about it. You're starting from the beginning. If you've already been promoting your business, whether you sell on Poshmark, eBay, or whatever reselling platform that you sell on, or whatever business platform, if you have a website, whatever, you do not want to lose the people who have already been following you because you've been giving them information and feeding stuff to them. So what you should do now is just turn that into a business account. And all you do is at the right top of your Instagram page, there's going to be some lines. You click on that, you hit settings, you go to account, and then it will ask you if you want to switch from a personal to a business account. And so just do that. That's the first thing that you should do. And then the next thing you should do is have like either a great photo or a logo. I currently have a logo I have going back and forth. Every couple of months I change depending on what my mood is. I don't mind people seeing me, but I also, because it is a business account and is growing, I like to use logos every now and then because it helps identify me as a business. Instagram to me is an extension of my business. It's not me just going onto social media where one day I'm tired of using it and I just give it up. It is a part of my business and it's helped my business grow exponentially. So if you look at it from a business perspective, then you won't lose focus about how you're going to use it. So after you have a photo or a logo, then the next thing you should do is come up with a name. And you probably already have a name, especially if you're selling. Now, this is my thing. If you have a name that's just your name or, something cute or whatever, consider creating a business name. When I first started on Instagram, the Instagram page that I'm using now, because I already have another business, which is Surprise Designer. I was a handmade crochet designer. So I do have a page for that. And then now I've added 4 other pages for my business. But if you're going to have a business account, consider creating a business name. So I used to be Les Danae, and then I became Leslie's Fashion Boutique, and that's what I was on Poshmark. And so I changed that, and now I'm a reseller's passion. And a reseller's passion is like everything that I'm passionate about. So I can talk about anything, and people will know who I am. And that is my business name. Is branded. It's everything. So I'm licensed. It's everything that I am. If you Google a reseller's passion, then you will definitely find me on just about every platform that I'm on. So come up with a name, and don't be afraid to change your name on the platforms that you sell on, because you want it to be clean across the board. And if you can, try to find a name where you don't have to hyphenate it or do anything like that. Can it just be your name? And that way it'll really be easier for people to find you. That's the thing. That's the first thing. Then the second thing is to make sure your name is in your bio. I like to communicate with people. That's really important to me. So when I go to someone's account, like if they comment on a post of mine and I don't know them personally, I instantly go to their account because I want to see who I'm talking to. And if they don't have a name, I go, wow, that kind of like, hurts me. If you have an account, no one's looking for you. That's the thing that people get so concerned about. They think that someone is looking for them. There's a conspiracy. Once you're online, anybody who wants to find you can. So just think about it from a business perspective. If you have a business, why not have your name? Create a great bio and include anything you want people to know about you. If you're a stylist on Poshmark and you sell solely on Poshmark, if you're a stylist, then create that. If you're, a Posh ambassador, if you spoke at Posh Fest at one time, if you've been a closet consultant, anything that you want people to know, include that in your bio. And then the most important thing is having a clickable link for them to find your business. So if you only sell on Poshmark, make sure that your Poshmark URL is in your website area, or you can create a LinkedIn or a campsite or a milkshake. That's something for later on. Those are sites that allow you to get a URL that people click on, and it's one-stop shop where they click on that and it'll take them to all your businesses. Like mine is campsite. So you click on the link in my bio and it lists everything from my ebook to my website, to my YouTube, to my Instagram, to my podcast. Everything that I'm associated with is, you click one link and it lists everything, and you can get to me through there. So let me just check. So basically that's it. You just want to make sure you have all those things in your bio. And then the last thing is you decide what it is you want to have in your feed, whether it's just pictures of your items and you're selling, or you are creating stories, or you're going live, or you're creating videos, or you're talking about yourself, your day in a life, you're sharing your life with your family. I'm basically transparent on Instagram, and that's because I want to be. To me, it's like a no-brainer. Like even now, like I don't really wear makeup or anything like that. I'm just me. I just want to be as normal and organic as possible. I mean, that's who I am. Like the person that you see is basically the person I am. I have on a t-shirt. Right now I'm wearing some leggings. If I go out, I like a pair of jeans, a t-shirt, and some Converse or some Vans. I'm just like straight up old school. I like to be relaxed and comfortable. And that's how I am on Instagram. So you have to decide what's going to work for you. The thing that I would say is don't follow people to follow. Don't follow people to unfollow. Do not join any type of Instagram groups that are specifically targeted to following. You can belong to a chat where you're helping each other every single day. I have a chat. I used to have a Facebook group. It wasn't very active, so I do have about 30 people in a chat, and we keep each other motivated every single day, and we do Zoom chats and stuff like that. But other than that, I do not belong to any share groups, any follow groups, anything like that. My Instagram has grown organically. Here we are in April 2020. April 2019, I only had about 700 followers. I just hit 15,100 followers a couple days ago. To me, that's organic. There are people who have been doing this longer than me, so they have higher numbers. The numbers don't really mean anything to me. It's more about the engagement, and I think you should think about that If you do want followers, then you should go to people who are in the same type of business that you are, whether you're a reseller or a different business owner, and comment on their posts, comment on the people who post on their posts, go to the other people who post on their posts or who they follow, and then start commenting and interacting and having a conversation. You don't want to follow to follow. Instagram does have a great unique system where they suggest people for you to follow. I would say go to the suggestions, click on them, and see if there's someone you want to follow. It doesn't have to be about the bigger names. If you want to have a community of people who will respect you, who will follow you, who will offer you advice, who will take advice, then build slowly. Just like the Field of Dreams. If you build it, they will come. So that's my Instagram for you. Number 4 is, do you weigh items for eBay and Mercari? I don't currently sell on eBay, and I only do a little bit on eBay or Mercari right now, but I do weigh the items. I use a AccuTech. Right there is my scale. I use an AccuTech scale. I had one before and I upgraded. So what I do is anytime I have an item, I actually weigh it first so I have an idea. I've actually gotten to the point where I have an idea of how much things weigh unless it's something really heavy. But that's my suggestion to you. You weigh it ahead of time so there are no surprises when it's time for you to create your shipping. Because some people, especially from Mercari, because they're a little different with their shipping as compared to eBay, where you can definitely go in and pick, priority shipping with padded envelopes and small, medium, large, flat rate boxes. You just want to know what the weight is, because if you go into Mercari, they have different tiers. But if you pick the $2.99 and your item is weighing so much that it's going to cost you $11.99, now you're losing money. But then also check some other sites, like Pirate Ship is a great site to pick if you're on Mercari, or PayPal if you're on Mercari. eBay already has the normal shipping, and also they do provide some type of discounts. And then of course for Poshmark, anything over £5, you're going to pay additional, and I think the first tier is like $3.99 additional. So just pay attention and definitely weigh everything. And the last question is not a question, it's just a statement. Talk about a few challenges you've had in your reselling business. Oh my gosh, it's more than a few. I can go on and on and on, but I'll talk about some of the things that I've already talked about before. One, shipping. When I first started selling on Poshmark, I didn't know anything about shipping. I come from a handmade seller background where I used to sell on Etsy for 8 years. Like, mind you, if you take a hat, it really weighs nothing, and I would use like really small like poly mailers, or if I did a hat, scarf, glove combo or something like that, nothing really weighed a lot. So I did have to weigh it, but after a while I knew that my hat was only, 6 ounces. So it would only cost me $2.50 to send out. But so reselling was a whole new thing, and I didn't know anything about it, especially with Poshmark, right? And so I would take some items, and just my first item that I sold was a pair of Dansko shoes. I took them, I threw them in a box. I didn't put them in a bag. I didn't send a thank you note or anything. That person sent me a 1-star. And after that, I started just kind of figuring out how to ship and weigh and do that kind of stuff there. My pricing was a little questionable. Again, back to the same Danskos. I always say that I charge $5, but I think it was more like 10, but I should have known better. My husband is the person who motivated me to start reselling, but I never even asked him or reached out to him. He had been selling on eBay for years, so he already knew about like weighing and shipping and packing, but I don't know what it was that I just didn't ask him, and that was like a mistake. I started because I wanted to do something with him, but I also probably felt like I was ashamed, or I didn't want to take up his time. I don't know why. I just thought it would be something that came naturally as far as the shipping process. So I had to learn that, how to package up things, and then also I got the shipping. But pricing, I had to really like figure out my pricing. And especially with Danskos, like I am a baker and a professional cook, by trade. So that's what I wore. I treated myself, I saved and treated myself. I had 2 pairs of dance coats. I paid like $125. So why would I think that even if they were a little scuffed up, that I could get a little bit more money? Now, mind you, I learned after research and trial and error and watching a lot of YouTube videos how to start pricing. And that is by checking your comps, and comps are comparables, comparing an item that you currently have to something that has sold to figure out a middle ground of where to sell your items. So pricing was one issue. Sourcing. When I first started reselling, I did not source it. We were close to the bins, but when I moved to Delaware, finally, after shopping the bins for several years, Thomas and I had been, we used to go on dates to the bins because it was brand new. But when I started getting to reselling and doing it as a business, I didn't like it. It was crowded. There was a lot of people, they're pushing and everything like that. So I was hesitant about sourcing. So I had Thomas go and source. And for the first year, he bought me everything that I needed. But when I really got serious about sourcing, I had to learn how to source. Because as I indicated, over the years, of course, I've had Gucci bags and things like that. But as I got older and matured, I realized what I needed as a person to like live in the world, and it wasn't a lot. So I stopped shopping, and I've never really liked shopping, even for my children. So I had to force myself to learn and get out there and learn from the business perspective. So I learned how to source and look for quality items and comp and do all that. So that was like a challenge. It took me a good 6 months to really kind of get a feel and play around with pricing and sourcing and places that I wanted to source. I learned how to source other places like the retail stores when they had sales, mom and pop, small thrift stores, and I have like a few places that I really like. I'm scared to move. We're moving in the fall because I don't know where I'm going to source. We're moving to North Carolina. I've been to some places, but that's when I'm on vacation visiting my parents. Otherwise, now I have to learn again. So that's the thing about this business. You're constantly learning, you're constantly growing. So the things that I had challenges with, I'll probably have challenges again, but on a new, a new end, because now I know some things, but I don't know everything. No one knows everything, and I'm constantly learning. So. And the last thing was overcoming loneliness. When I left my job, I really was working a lot, but then when sales kind of slowed down at the end of the year, I sat back and was like, wow, I don't know a lot of people. I need to make some friends. So I was really lonely. So I started making videos. And my first video was here on YouTube in January of 2019. And then I moved over to Instagram and started making videos. And then the community just kind of started building from there. And I'm happy to say that I'm no longer lonely. I do have my moments because I don't actually know anyone here in the state of Delaware. And right now we're going through, stay in the house and self-distancing and quarantine and everything. So it does create another level of challenge, another level of loneliness. But I can always now, I have people's numbers that I can actually talk to. We have virtual conferencing where we can do Zoom chats and the passion coffees and things like that. So overcoming loneliness to me was my biggest challenge, but I want to thank everyone for their questions. I appreciate you for watching, and hopefully you've learned a little bit about me. If you want me to do another video like this, please send me a message. Don't forget to comment. Don't forget to subscribe, and don't forget to hit the little bell up top if you like this video. I appreciate you, friends. Thanks for watching this far in. Take care.